Hello and
Well,
welcome to the Solidarity Lowell April meeting on April 26th, 2026. Just a friendly reminder, this meeting is being recorded, which the Zoom lady just told you. It will be put on YouTube as well. By staying in the meeting, you consent to both. The timekeeper eventually will be Sravan. To speak, please use the raise hand function in Zoom or type a star or an asterisk into the chat and wait to be called on. Our stacker today is Joe Boyle. Captions are available, and we always use the rules of step up, step back, meaning if you have not spoken yet, we want to hear from you. Please step up. If you are speaking an awful lot, please step back and make space for others. Assume positive intentions, and if your words do cause hurt, you can say ouch, and whoever said the thing that caused you hurt can be accountable and say oops, and you can discuss or take it offline later. And please speak slowly, which surprisingly I'm actually doing for a change. Okay, so we'll start our agenda. We're going to start with land acknowledgement and introductions. Then we'll do news from Solidarity Lowell as well as committee updates, and then allied organization updates. So if you're here to promote another group or event, please do so then. At 6 o'clock, we'll do our Solidarity Lowell Coordinating Committee elections. And then at 6:10, we'll have our featured speaker, Sebastian Nash, chair of the Lowell Commission on Disability. And we'll wrap up around 6:55. Okay, so land acknowledgement. Here in Lowell, we stand on the land of the following local nations: the Wabanaki Dawnland Confederacy, the Pentucket, Pawtucket, Agawam, Pennacook, and Wamisit. And that's from nativeland.ca. And you can read our full statement at that bit.ly /SL-land. And what is Solidarity Lowell? We are a volunteer group of community members defending human rights, dignity, and justice in Greater Lowell. We're a chapter of Progressive Mass and a Merrimack Valley Project affiliate. The coordinating committee is your elected team running the meetings, organizing events, disseminating relevant news, and sharing calls to action. Our elections are held in April, just like today, and we'll discuss this more later in the meeting. Okay, so we'll go around and introduce ourselves quickly. Please give your name, your pronouns, where you live, and what fictional family would you like to be a member of? I'll start because otherwise I forget. My name is Marissa DuPont. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I live in South Lowell, and I would like to be a member of the Belchers from Bob's Burgers.
I don't even know what that is.
You
who
should
are
look it up because it's an amazing show.
Say the name again, please.
The show is called Bob's Burgers, and the family is the Belchers.
Burgers. Okay.
Okay, Paul, why don't you go next?
Paul Godet from the Highlands. Pronouns are he, him. I think I would like to be a member of the Adams family.
Ron.
He stole mine. Oh, now I've got to come back to me. I've got to come up with a different one.
Okay, Ryan.
Uh, my name is Ryan Hammond. My pronouns are he, him. I live in the Acre, and I'm a member of the Solidarity Lowell Coordinating Committee. And I think if I could be a member of any fictional family, it would probably be the found family unit that runs the crew at Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I would probably be an errand boy for Zorak.
Nice.
And I
Nice.
don't even know any of those references. Wow.
Amy.
Too old.
Thanks, Paul.
Am I going to have to remind people to mute themselves?
Ron, if you want the Adams, I'll take the Munsters.
No, well,
Amy.
okay. Hi. Yeah, Amy Baranowski, she, her pronouns. I live in the Acre, and I am saying the Adams family too. And also, I owe Marissa an apology because when she said everybody's going to pick the Adams family, I said, no, they won't. And apparently you were right.
I said that.
Yeah, I don't think I said that, but yeah, it was.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
I said
then
everyone
I
was gonna
double
pick the Belchers.
apologize. Okay.
All right, Sebastian.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Nash. My pronouns are he, him. I live in Centerville. I'm with the Lowell Disability Commission, and I'm going to double down on the Adams.
Nice.
I'll be Adams family.
Joe.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Joseph Boyle, member of the SLCC. I live in the Highlands. I use he, him pronouns. And okay, we're all going to say the Adams family. So other than the Adams family, I would say I would choose to be a member of Hazel Raz Warren.
I don't know what that is.
Watership Down.
Oh God.
Yikes.
Nice.
Watership Down. Wow.
Wow.
I like that
Okay.
one.
That's cool.
Yeah. Bernadette.
At Shoal, my pronouns are she, her. I don't know what family. I really don't know. Maybe Archie Bunker's family.
Okay. Elkin.
Yes, my name is Elkin Montoya. I pronounce he or him. I live on Patacabil, and my fictional family would be the Montoya family.
Fabulous.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my mom.
Yeah,
Go
Perfect.
on.
prepare to die.
Caroline.
Hi everybody, Caroline Snow. I'm in Centerville District 4, and pronouns are she, her, and I would be part of the Spellman family from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Nice.
That's also cool.
Chris, you're just joining us, but we're doing our introductions. Your name, your pronouns, where you live, and what fictional family would you like to be a member of?
Oi. Okay, Chris Afferman, she, hers, live in downtown Lowell, and fictional family, the Golden Girls.
Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
there you
I'm
go.
surprised nobody's said that one yet.
I
That's
like that.
Dan O'Connor.
Hi, Dan O'Connor. I'm a Dracut resident, and I think I'd going back to a contemporary show, the Beverly Hillbillies.
Nice. Ozo.
Thanks, Marissa. Thanks for everybody for having me. So Ozo, he, him, his. I live at the Lowell Transitional Living Center, and it's a toss-up between the Jetsons and the Flintstones.
Nice. Why not both? Wasn't there a crossover episode?
Thank you.
All right. I think we're back at Ron. Did you make a decision?
Yes, I did. Two different families. First off, I'm Ron Peachtree. I live on Christian Hill. He, his, him. And I don't know whether I'd prefer to be related to Frodo and Bilbo or to be related to Elrond and that family, but one or the other.
Yes, both good choices. Okay, so I think that's everybody. And let's move forward. Okay, so just a friendly reminder that we did this on Zoom only today so that we can all very easily jump right on to the Progressive Mass Virtual Awards Night, which starts right at 7 o'clock after this event. If you have not already bought your tickets, there is a link on your screen that I am assuming Amy is about to copy and paste into the chat as we speak. It starts at 7 until I think 8:30. It's $35 if you can. If you can't, please talk to me or Amy or anyone on the coordinating committee. Our guest speaker is U.S. Senator Ed Markey, and our very own Amy Baranowski, who is also on the board of Progressive Mass, is going to be introducing him, which is very exciting. And they'll be awarding State Senator Pat Jalen, staff of Field First, the Luce Hotline, Jessica Tang from AFT Massachusetts, and Ruth Zacharine from Massachusetts Coalition to Prevent Gun Violence. So it'll be a great event. Please join us. You can also see John Cohn talk with his hands. It's excellent.
He pretty much always does.
Yes. All right. So victories for this month. I have to minimize a couple of windows so that I can see all this text. All right. Nonprofits in Lowell refused federal entitlement funding from the Trump administration that would require them to omit all DEI language from their material.
Wow.
As Supreme Court ruled that its congressional map violated state law, and it was redrawn with a Democratic-leaning district centered on Salt Lake City. With the legislative session over, Kentucky Senator Gex Williams failed in all his desperate attempts to get trans people banned from teaching in the state schools.
Yay.
Yes. The Six Nations Iroquois Cultural Center
You stole that one from me.
600 acres of New York land in one of the largest returns of private land to Indigenous people in state history.
Good.
Wow.
Yes. The Artemis II mission successfully completed its historic journey around the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hungarian voters ousted Prime Minister Viktor Orban, rejecting the authoritarian policies and global far-right movement that he embodied. Pennsylvania court struck down a decades-long law banning the use of state Medicaid funds to cover abortion costs. Okay, does anyone else have any positive news that they would like to share?
Yes.
Okay, Ron.
I'm trying to remember which state it was, but their Supreme Court said that to search your social media or your phone or any other thing constitutes a legal search that requires a judicial warrant.
Is that on the books?
That's now on the books.
Oh,
That's now
good.
part of the federal appellate law.
I hadn't heard that. That's great. Anyone else?
Looking at Viktor Orban's defeat, I guess if Bulgaria also had an election and brought forward a more progressive candidate.
Yes. Clapping for that too. Anyone else? Positive news? Ozo.
California.
Thanks again, Marissa. So I just wanted to thank everybody for their support over all these crazy months. It's been like a year since I haven't worked at CBA and all this rights tenant group stuff came about, sort of as an official entity, but kind of operating in the shadows. But you guys have
Ozo, we're
been
just doing
like,
positive news right now.
oh, I'm just telling you. I mean, we're on the brink of really taking it there. To be, I guess they're going to be our fiscal sponsor. So I just wanted to take the chance to thank you all. I haven't really been able to do that in a public setting thus far, but that is very positive news for myself. I would say the city as a whole, because of the ridiculous things that we're going to be doing down here that have been needed for decades. So very positive news. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Any other positive news? I am looking.
Did the No Kings rally happen since our last meeting? Because that was a big win
I think that
all
was
around.
before the last one, but we'll be talking about the May Day event coming up.
Very good.
All right, so moving on to Lowell Together, which is our endorsements wing, but also includes other groups that we try to get everybody's input into identifying progressive candidates, helping them run for office, and supporting them once elected. So we are continuing helping with the anti-flock campaign. We recently met with a gentleman from the ACLU in Massachusetts to talk about how best to help with this situation. So we are currently setting up one-on-one meetings with our elected officials and some of our city councilors to talk about how bad flock is and why they should stand against it. And we're meeting Tuesday to discuss that, as well as our returned questionnaires that we've gotten so far for Lorena Betts, who's running in the 16th Middlesex, Harini Iyer, who's running in the 17th Middlesex, and Connor Murray, who's running in the, I always get this wrong, 18th Essex. I think it's 18th. Yeah, and that'll be at 6 p.m. on Zoom. If you would like to get involved, please email contact@solidaritylowell.com, or you can talk to anyone in the coordinating committee. Ron.
I think Lorena is 18th Middlesex.
No, she's 16th.
She's 16th? Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so as we just mentioned, the May Day event, there's a protest this Friday, May 1st from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Ladd and Whitney Monument. That's the island in front of City Hall. It is co-hosted by Solidarity Lowell and Indivisible Lowell. Please feel free to bring food to donate to the open pantry of Greater Lowell. They need most cooking oil, cereal, coffee, diced tomatoes, flour, peanut butter, rice, salt, spices, and tea. So if you have any of those kicking around or you want to pick those up, please bring those to the event. And yeah, if you want to make signs, I don't know if they're having a sign making event, but signs are always welcome. Okay, and Amy, Mill City Messaging.
Hi, everybody. So, Mill City Messaging is our monthly postcarding social event. We do it in conjunction with Indivisible Lowell because we take preference with local campaigns, but there isn't always something local to do. So we do sometimes pull some national ones. And we don't have a topic yet for this month, but the next one will be, it's always the second Thursday of the month. So Thursday, May 14th. From 6 to 8 p.m. at our good friends Lala Books at 189 Market Street. And I hope to see you there. If you have any questions, Amy at solidaritylowell.com.
Thank you. Okay, the Unpacking Whiteness Dialogue Group. We will be starting soon, hopefully. Currently, we have 4 folks signed up. We'd like to get a couple more if possible, but if not, we'll just go with that. But this is where we get together to explore racial biases, white supremacy, white privilege, explicit and implicit bias, systemic racism, and microaggressions in supportive, structured dialogues. It's 5 sessions, just once a week. It's capped at 10 people. Like I said, starting soon, we're just working out which day of the week it's going to be. And after attending the dialogue group, attendees are invited to join the ongoing group, which meets once a month and alternates between discussing a book or watching a film. And if you'd like to sign up, just use the bit.ly/UW-sign up. It's important that you do that just because then we can tell, there's a form that you fill out and then we'll know which day of the week you're available, et cetera, et cetera. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, Marissa at solidaritylowell.com. And the Merrimack Valley Project Housing, Lowell Housing Action Assembly, I am now putting on my MVP hat, which is different than me normally. So I am the operations and administrative coordinator at MVP, and I'm very proud to announce that we are doing a Lowell Housing Action Assembly this Wednesday, April 29th at 6:30 p.m. at Middlesex Community College Federal Building. Please remember Federal Building, 50 Kearney Square. We're just worried that people are going to be driving around like various campuses and not knowing where to be. You can RSVP at that very long URL that I don't know if we have a shortened version somewhere, but I didn't find it. So I'm assuming Amy is copy and pasting that into the chat as well. Thank you, Amy. If you have any questions, contact me, Marissa at solidaritylowell.com. Rabbi Aaron and Julio have been working extremely hard on this event, as well as the whole Lowell Housing team. And we're going to be focusing on 2 major actions that we're going to hopefully take to address the housing insecurity here in Lowell. And we want everyone involved. Please, 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 this is an all hands on deck situation. So mark your calendars. Please sign up at that URL. Caroline, Rise Coalition.
Hi, everybody. So I'm putting on my Rise board member hat. I'm also co-chair of the local action team on Rise Coalition. And as it says here, it's to foster a welcoming environment for refugees and immigrants. RISE stands for Refugees and Immigrant Support and Empowerment. We really emphasize their needs first. And something that I'm super, super, super excited to announce is welcoming something is happening. So it'll either be a day, a weekend, probably won't be a week. But for those that aren't aware, that is just a celebration of what immigrants bring to the city. And I like to say that the analogy of the melting pot is out, and it is a fun salad because we're all together, but we're still our own parts. and the Rise Coalition is starting to plan for that. And we are going to be the organization that holds everything together and sort of prints and does marketing stuff. However, we are looking for organizations to come into this with us together, and host an event, or just sort of, hey, we love immigrants too. And so we're just in the starting phases of that. So just let folks know that it's happening. And if you have any more questions, contact Nancy or myself. I would say just give us a couple days and then we'll have some more information.
Awesome. Thank you, Caroline. And I think it's safe to say that we'll definitely be involved in some way. Just a reminder, if you haven't heard recently, the Luce Network is obviously super important. So if you see ICE in your community, or if you suspect that you see ICE or someone who looks like ICE, please, or DHS, FBI, federal agents, unidentified suspicious activity in your community, or if you've witnessed or had personal contact with any of the above, call the hotline. The number is 617-370-5023, and it operates from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. And if you're interested in volunteering, visit lucemass.org. Caroline.
Really quick to add on to this, the Luce Network is gearing up for a surge in this summer, and we are looking through Lowell Alliance and Liz to get more board members. And also, if you just have an idea about something you can do to help the community in the summer, the big piece of the summer is schools are out. There's higher food instability. There's higher issues with temperature and weather. Folks can't walk as many places. They might not have air conditioning. So if you have any ideas on thoughts on how to deal with those or anything else, or you do want to look into becoming more of a board member for the Lowell Luce Hub, email me. Thanks.
Thanks, Caroline. Okay, so upcoming events tomorrow, Monday, April 27th, is the Lowell Democratic City Committee meeting at 7 p.m. at the Mercier Center, which is at 21 Salem Street. They'll be electing officers for various things, so it's an important one. Then we have the Progressive Mass Spring Forward, Investing in People, Not Prisons event with Mallory Hanora from Families for Justice as Healing. That's on Wednesday, the 29th at 7 p.m. on Zoom, and you can RSVP at that link there. Like I said, May Day is coming up Friday, May 1st, 4 to 6 p.m., the Ladd and Whitney Monument. And Progressive Mass Lobby Day is coming up Thursday, May 7th at 9:30 a.m. at the State House in Boston, room 428. Ron, you're muted.
My apologies. Also, isn't April 20th the meeting of Lowell Together?
The Tuesday is Lowell Together. Yes.
28th. Yep.
Yeah, and if you need the link, just email me. Okay.
Solidarity LDCC is Lowell Democratic City Committee.
Yes.
If no one was sure what that is.
I thought I said that, but if I didn't, then I apologize.
Okay.
Okay, so just a friendly plug for our Discord server. This is for all Lowell activists, not just Solidarity Lowell, but it's on Discord. It's for everybody in Greater Lowell. It doesn't even have to be just Lowell, it's everybody. Discord is a free text, voice, and video application. It's very similar to Slack. It's sort of like a discussion forum. And it's a way for activists to know what's going on without relying on the whims of social media algorithms. We have channels for topics of increasing concern and are adding channels for each group or organization by request, but you don't have to be the leader of a group to join. Anybody can join. You can be an individual or the leader of a group either way. So there is the link there. If that link does not work, which it is very possible it does not, because Discord is very fussy about that, just email contact@solidaritylowell.com and one of us will send you an invite. Okay, and now we've reached the point where anyone who is involved with other groups, if you have any other important information or events or anything else, please share. So who would like to share? I'm looking for hands. Ozo.
Okay. Thanks again, Marissa. So along the lines of Rice Tenants Group again, one of the first initiatives that we're putting together as a group. So we're putting out like art supply donation boxes. It's called our Art Supply Haven. They'll be scattered throughout town, but if you do have any loose art supplies that you'd like to donate to the shelter, you can bring it right to the shelter. If we can't coordinate a meeting, or just a few places that we're going to be getting boxes out to. Arts League of Lowell, Nirvana Cafe, The Brush, YMCA, like I said, Lowell Transitional Living Center, and Brood Awakening. Just a few different places throughout town. So just be on the lookout for that. And like I said, we can always coordinate a meeting or just drop off any supplies at the shelter. So thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks, Ozo. Caroline.
So I'll have Paul go first and then I'll jump in.
Okay, Paul.
So Glila is one of the groups here on the share. They're having an event May 3rd, which is this coming a week from today. It's an interfaith service, and I'd like to post the flyer and talk about it, please. Let's see.
Yep, go for it.
Let's say replace the current share, unfortunately, but here it is.
Hold on a sec. There we go.
So, see. This is the annual Spring Gathering for Peace. So members of Glila who are on the web tonight are myself and Caroline is vice president. I'm secretary, and Chris Offerman is a regular attendee. So this is our spring event. It's a gathering, and we're going to talk about the 250th anniversary of the country, liberty and justice for all, ? There's going to be a panel of three folks in the community who were not native born here and talking about their experience of becoming citizens. We'll have a fun kind of discussion in small groups about, can you answer some of the questions on the citizenship test? So there'll be some music and refreshments afterwards. It's going to be held at Central Congregational Church on Worthen Street in Chelmsford. If you know that area, it has a large parking lot which you can access from North Road and then go in the back door. It's the easiest way.
Paul, I'm not seeing the flyer.
Not seeing the flyer. How did I do that? Let's see.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah,
I
I
can
got
see
it.
it.
Okay. I can stop the share and try it
Okay.
again.
No, don't worry about it.
I'm seeing it.
guess it's because I'm the host or something. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So that's all. If people want to come, they're free. Doors will open at 2:45. It goes for about 90 minutes till 4:30, and there'll be refreshments in the building at some side room off of the sanctuary. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'll stop.
Caroline?
Hi, everybody. So really quick, the Lowell Alliance is working with Homes for All on a rent control ballot measure, and there is a training for part 2 because, yes, in Massachusetts, you have to collect signatures twice. Does it make sense? No. So we'll be doing the second part of that the 30th, and so we're looking for folks to sign up for that. And even if you can't attend, the sign up will help us give you information after the fact. So that's really helpful. And Paul talked about the Gleeler event, and you, just as a reminder, that is hybrid. So if you, and Gleela has a Facebook page. That's also where I was going with that. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Caroline. Anyone else? Group updates?
Hey, sorry, I'll raise my hand.
Okay. John.
Sorry, Mitch. Did somebody already mention the MVP meeting on the 29th?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so
That its own slide.
oh, good. I'm glad. So that in addition to that, separate from that, 350 Mass is having a orientation meeting on May 3rd at 7. It's a chance, if you know anybody, you yourself or anybody you know wants to get involved in dealing with what arguably is the most urgent problem that we actually have, even though you wouldn't know it, given all we got to deal with. You can attend that and see what kind of stuff we do. And I'll put the link in the chat, but you can also reach out to me if you want.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Mitch?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the 2026 reorganization meeting of the Lowell Democrats to elect members and officers for terms ending 2028 is tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the Armand Mercier Center at 21 Salem Street.
Thanks, Mitch. Rebecca.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I basically wanted to just mention that that we're having a food drive that is sponsored by, well, it's the Community Food Partnership and also Indivisible and Solidarity, I guess, because we're all kind of working together. So I just wanted to mention that. And the flyers is online. So if you just look at, I don't know how to best to get this to people who are not on those groups or something, but basically we're just collecting food for the dwelling house for House of Hope. And so we're looking for specific things. They're especially looking for like cooking oils and coffee and the kinds of things that they can't typically find at a food pantry. So I just wanted to let people know about it. And then you can even take it directly over to Mill City Grows. And there should be flyers all around the downtown area, especially. And then if we will also have at the May Day event, we'll also have boxes with QR codes, hopefully, and in case you want to donate and forget your cooking oil or whatever it is. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Any other group updates? Dan. Dan, you are muted.
It was just mentioned the Dwelling House of Hope food drive. Dwelling House of Hope is also having, they're affiliated with Project Bread, and they're having their Walk for Hunger on May 9th.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where is that? Where does that start, Dan?
It's going to start right downtown at the plaza. And at the end of the walk, they're having a cookout. So in addition to being a fundraiser, it's also going to be a good community building event and a good opportunity for folks to network. So I'm not sure if I sent you a flyer.
I don't remember.
I'll send it if I didn't. I'll send another one.
Awesome. I'll put it in the newsletter. Thanks, Dan. Anyone else? Group updates? All right.
May I?
Yep.
I just wanted to inform everyone on the group that LCCPS, Lowell Community Charter Public School, is having the 5th annual Leaders to Learn event. It's going to be outdoors at the LCCPS at 5:30 to 8 p.m. There's going to be a lot of information about the school and what we do and what the future is for the school. And also, it's really hopefully the weather help us. So it's also a fundraiser. I just wanted to let you know that. Thank you.
Thanks, Elkin. All right, so let me get back to, here we are. Okay, you'll see this again. All right. So now we will just quickly do our coordinating committee election. So just so you know that if you do decide to join the coordinating committee, even if you are not running tonight, if you decide that you would like to join us, please let us know. It is a 2-year term. Expected responsibilities include 2 additional meetings a month in addition to this one. Daily review and input on our Discord server, which is separate from Lowell Activists Unite. The coordinating committee has their own separate Discord. And there's a complete list of responsibilities in our bylaws, and we can go over that with you. So what will happen tonight is folks who are going to be running for election or re-election will just introduce themselves and explain why they think they're qualified. Why we know they're qualified. Most people are qualified. But then we'll be sending out a ballot to voting members of Solidarity Lowell. And all that means is that you've attended at least 3 Solidarity Lowell activities in the last 12 months. And you'll receive an electronic ballot. It'll be a Google form later this week, probably in the next couple of days. So with that in mind, I think yeah. So our incumbent seeking re-election, weirdly, it ended up that only one person is seeking re-election this year, is Joe Boyle. So actually, let's do this first. So we'd like to thank Chris Offerman. She would have been up for re-election, but she has decided to step down from the coordinating committee for a variety of reasons. But we wanted to thank her for her years of dedication to the coordinating committee. She's been more than integral. She runs the contact list. She helps at events. She always checks people in at meetings. She does all of the things, really. If you know her, you know how amazing she is. So we'd just like to thank her. And she'll still be a part of the Solidarity Lowell, just not on the coordinating committee. So thank you, Chris. Round of applause, please.
Hey.
Okay, so Joe, why don't you give your little speech?
All right. Hello, everybody. Most of you know me, Joseph Boyle. I've been on the Solidarity Lowell Coordinating Committee since about 2018. I've done a lot of work on the committee. I help out a lot at events. I provide strategic insights. And the other people on the coordinating committee lead me to believe that my presence is useful. And so for that reason, I'm standing again for election to the Solidarity Lowell Coordinating Committee. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. All right. And I believe we have another person who is interested in joining the coordinating committee.
My name is Sebastian Nash. I am the chairman of the Disability Commission, which we will be getting to later. I've also worked at the elections office and was on the team to help transition from the at-large system to the system we have now. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that. And I hope that I can get your endorsement on for the coordinating committee. Thank you.
Thanks, Sebastian. Is there anyone else who is interested in joining the coordinating committee? I'm looking. Okay. Well, like I said, if you do not nominate yourself today, that doesn't mean that you won't be part of the group. Just let me know as soon as possible. Obviously, some folks are afraid of public speaking, and I totally respect that. So now, but yes, you would just need to let us know at contact@solidaritylowell.com or to any of the coordinating committee members by 9 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, and now we'll move on to our featured speaker, Sebastian Nash of the Lowell Disability Commission. He is the chair for the Commission on Disabilities for the City of Lowell. The commission's responsibilities are to make sure that the city is ADA compliant and that the needs of the disabled community are met on a municipal level. And obviously, please type your questions in the chat or use the raise hand function and they'll be answered following the presentation. So, Sebastian, feel free to take it away.
So I've been on the Disability Commission since 2019. I was appointed to the the vice chairman position in 2020 and became the chair in 2021. We have one moment. Sorry, I have a list. Our responsibilities consist of one, making sure the local businesses and buildings are ADA compliant. We also have done surveys to try to make sure the historic municipal buildings are ADA compliant, and we have developed an ADA transition plan, which is almost complete. And this goes from buildings like all the way from City Hall to even buildings like the fire department. It was a very comprehensive study, and that was done pre-pandemic. Just pandemic threw everything off. We also have started a youth outreach program called the Friends of the Commission. We have 2 Friends of the Commission currently. They are high schoolers who wanted to get involved in the Disability Commission and advocate for youth needs, because a lot of people who are like younger, they're ignored because they don't vote. So a lot of people just gloss over it. So I personally started this initiative in 2019, and we worked our way up until this year to make sure everything was copacetic and trying to make sure, they had some power within the commission. I personally, if there is a issue that needs to be voted on, I personally give up my vote and let the Friends of the Commission take my vote for when it comes to deciding certain needs if they bring it up or they have a particular interest in it. We currently have 9 members, including a city council member, Sean McDonough. We also work very closely with the city planning board and the elections office, but we have our hands in a little bit of everything. Our current projects that we're going to be donating money to help the schools renovate their parks, because they were left out of the ADA transition plan because they're not technically owned by the city. So we're trying to make sure that they become ADA compliant, and not just to the letter of the law, but to the spirit of the law, which is very important. We also help fund certain things during the Folk Fest, like making sure that they have like golf carts that help people with mobility issues. Obviously, there's some things that's always going to be a fight over because it's just difficult, but we do our best for that. Another one of our future projects is that we are trying to basically lobby the city to fix Back Central. That is going to be a project and a half, but that is something that we are trying to do to make sure the streets themselves are ADA compliant. If any of you guys went to the thing last year where the public got to meet the candidates, where they had a bunch of pictures of some of the broken sidewalks, all but one of them were all from Back Central. I just literally walked down the street and turned up left, and it was all just in Back Central. One of our meetings are open to the public, so that means anyone can come in and participate. And if you want to speak at the meeting, all it takes is sending an email to one of the commissioners, including myself, and we can bring something up as long as it's within our purview. We're always looking. Our meetings take place on the second Thursday of each month. I know. Sorry. Joe said Back Central, man. That is a job and a half. No, I know. But we meet the second Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. in the mayor's reception room. And I would personally like it if there was more public participation. Because a lot of the time we just don't have a lot of people from the public show up. They are open meetings. We have an agenda and minutes that we post on the website each month. We do not have a website, but I can put my email in the chat because we're run through the City of Lowell.
Oh, okay.
So we are the city's official disability commission and disability representatives. So if our website is the City of Lowell website, but that doesn't really give you any information that you need. And I want to take some time to ask you guys if there's any projects or things that you've noticed in the community that you think that should be brought up to the Disability Commission, and see if we can I can bring it up at the next meeting, or if there's specific projects that you want to see done. So open the floor.
Folks, questions for Sebastian?
Oh yeah, and questions in general.
Sebastian, you've talked a lot about like sort of physical limitations. I'm sure the Disability Commission is doing a lot for mental health right now, but
Yes.
are there specific projects that you're working on with regard to that?
The only reason why I didn't bring it up, because it is kind of an borderline and ouch topic. We are working with a suicide prevention program to make signs and stuff like that. And we've also and a lot of the one of the big focuses when we were working with our recruiting efforts for our members of the commission have been towards balancing out not only the physical needs but also the like mental and cognitive disabilities as well. One of the requirements for having a position on the Disability Commission is that you have to either have a disability or you need to have an immediate family member who has a disability. Okay.
Dan has his hand up.
Yep. Okay, go for it, Dan.
Sebastian, do you work with any of the agencies like Northeast Living and Mass Rehab? And do you do any like direct case management if somebody with a disability connects to you to make referrals? And
so the Disability Commission can only do stuff on a city level. We couldn't like fund someone else's lawyer to get their disability or anything like that.
right, I understand that. But could you, if somebody called and said they had this particular problem, would there be somebody on the commission who would know who to refer them to, or make a connection with Mass Rehab or Northeast Living, Independent Living, or?
Normally that would be me. Mainly because I'm the person who will just pick up the phone and call whoever I need to call to get something done. But like if we had people, and we've worked with Northeast Independent Living Center a lot, that they actually did the ADA transition, help us develop the ADA transition plan because they did the survey throughout the city. Mass Rehab is a bit difficult because they don't always answer their emails, but
So you'd be using your email if someone had that type of issue, that email you, and you could
yeah,
make that
because
contact?
I also have contact with someone who is a specific disability advocate. His name is Brian Forsyth. And his daughter required advocacy, and he just became a local advocate. He does a lot of work through the career center as well. And if there's something that someone needed something along the lines of like finding a lawyer or something like that, he also helps, and we work with him a lot too.
I know Mill City Grows is part of their Foods and Access Symposium put together a project on essentially trying to get a handle on information referral and follow-up activities and how agencies can talk to one another to better serve. And I was wondering if there's a place for the Disability Commission to get involved with that.
It depends because the problem is that the Disability Commission is specifically for municipal stuff. So the commission, so like we couldn't we couldn't we couldn't like volunteer with NILP as a commission. We could
Right.
endorse stuff. We could like set out letters. We could even fund stuff if they were working with stuff in Lowell, if like on a municipal level, like if they had a contract with the city and the city needed help paying for it. We've helped stuff like paying for the closed captioning for LTC, and stuff like that. But it's harder to work on an individual basis because that is outside the purview of the commission.
Thanks.
Paul has.
Sebastian,
Mhm.
this is Elkin Montoya. I just wanted to ask you, do you have any in your group that helps people in disability, blind, especially blind, with Latino capabilities?
So we had um we had a member of the Disability Commission who was blind for a while. So we have a lot of insight onto what's like what needs need to be met and stuff like that because he worked with us for 10 years and he passed down a lot of like knowledge for us to work with. What would be the specific things you'd be looking for?
No, for instance, if you know someone who just came to this city and they wanted to get some help or information in Spanish, how can they navigate through the the blindness commissioner and your agency? Where will I refer them to? Where would I refer them to? Excuse me.
Do they speak English at all or?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so that might then the person I would specifically send you to would be probably Brian Forsyth and see if you can find a translator because he knows his way around this. He knows how to manage all that other stuff.
And where would I reach him? Do you have
I can give you you can email me and I'll give you his email.
Okay, thank you.
Paul?
Yes. No judgment here, but I'm curious of whether what I thought was a good idea from some other community has ever been brought to our Lowell community, and that is working with law enforcement in the case of an episode that might be happening in a domestic situation, or is there a signal or a code that family members or friends can share with the arriving officers that this person is on the spectrum or this person is nonverbal, or to prevent the kinds of tragedies we've seen in other communities?
So funny that you mentioned that. Last year and also pre-pandemic, we paid for training and for the Lowell Police Department for ADA accessibility when it came to people with autism spectrum disorder, Down syndrome, people who are deaf and hard of hearing, and helping people who are blind.
Great to hear.
So, and I can bring it up again at the meeting if you wish. So we can come up with like so I can come up with a way to make like an awareness campaign because that's important.
Ozo.
Thank you very much, Sebastian, and thank you, Marissa. Sebastian, you mentioned an ADA transition plan. So just so I'm clear, is there a plan to have in place for the municipal buildings full ADA compliance by a certain time frame, or how is this written out?
So the ADA transition plan is Kurt was so basically we went to every single building and we came up with a 562 point list of things that needed to get done. Mainly because we were working on the historical buildings that were never renovated. And some of it was like we need to lower the toilet paper roll about 3 inches, move this thing 10 inches to the right because it's too close to a corner. But most of the stuff that was like that has been done. I think we only need to get 5 or 6 buildings up to code but those are more intensive projects like building a ramp, which requires you to pour concrete, knock something down, like, and we've also, like, for example, at the Bartlett, I believe we recently helped implement a something that helps people get up and down the stairs like a chair. But the ADA transition plan specifically, the time frame is whenever the city the problem is the city has a lot they're doing right now, especially when it comes to construction. So it's all about when the city can allocate resources to it. But they have been getting a lot of it done. And we've been making sure that we get updates every single month on what's going on.
That sounds like great news, but is there an actual plan to bring every single municipal building under ADA compliance, like fully?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
awesome.
As much as we can, because a lot of the buildings have exemptions or variances. And how variances work is that, like, let's just say something is impossible to do for a building, then you could apply a variance to try and, like, not necessarily to find an alternative solution to how to do it instead of just completely going with the regulation. The problem is we have a lot of historical buildings, so there's only so much we can do with historical buildings because they can only be altered to an extent that the Lowell Historic Society has deemed, acceptable. So, but we were able to get a deal with them in order to cover everything that was more egregious. Like, for example, one of the big fights was for the library, getting their elevator fixed. And specifically getting the elevator big enough so you can, like, fit like a wheelchair in there. And that took a while to do. And they basically had to gut the entire gut part of the library and shut it down for a while in order to do it. So a lot of these things take time. And we do have a list. We do have things that we're knocking out of the way. It's just there's not necessarily a time frame because these things require planning, processing, getting contracts, bidding, and actually getting people to pour the cement in the ground.
Great. Any other questions for Sebastian? John Grossman.
And this is taking the discussion in a slightly different direction, so we don't have to do it if you don't think it's appropriate or we don't have time. But if I'm correct, the city's revising its rules and bylaws for commissions and councils.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen some issues around that in a similar similar group that I monitor from time to time. But I'm wondering, and you don't have to answer this if you don't think you want to, but are you all comfortable with that? And is that going okay?
Well, to be blunt with you, we have a couple of exemptions that prevent us from getting changed like that. For example, we have a non-rotating fund, which means that instead of them taking away our budget every year, it compounds. And we're the only commission in the city to do that. So, like the Hunger and Homeless Commission, at the end of the year, they get, if they don't spend all their money, it gets taken away and they get a new $20,000. If we don't spend if we still have $8,000 left in the bank, we now have $28,000 at the end of the year. So, and because we have a lot of cutout and exemptions to protect the Disability Commission, so it hasn't really affected us as much.
Okay. That's good.
It took a while to be able to set up those protections for us.
I can imagine. And just one quick follow-up. I was surprised to hear that the Historical Society could overrule the Americans with Disabilities Act. But I suppose you could probably talk for a while about that, but I don't, but if that's the case, that's the case. It just surprises me.
So basically the problem is that the historical buildings are exempt from ADA compliance because they are old.
Is that federal law?
That is a federal law.
Okay, that explains it. Thank you.
So it requires us to basically argue with them anytime we need to touch a historical building or anything that's or anything that's considered a national park, like historic downtown Lowell is considered a national park.
Paul?
Thank you. Since we have a little bit of time here, I don't know if you want to answer this question, so I'm offering it as an opportunity. Do you want to share a little bit about your story and how you got involved in all of this and what drives you to keep fighting for this issue?
So when I was a kid, when I was about 13, 14, the city did not have any funding or programs outside of the Wang School for kids with disabilities, like specifically with cognitive and developmental disabilities. And because of that, there was a bunch of kids that I knew, including myself, who were bounced around from school to school because they could not find appropriate accommodations. And and a lot of the times those accommodations would have to have been added district placement. And they did a lot of stuff that would be illegal to this day to those children. One of their favorite tactics was threatening their parents with sending them for an evaluation, which was a 30-day stay at a hospital for minors.
Terrible.
Yeah. So, and for me personally, they pushed it to 90. And after that, I did not want that to happen to any kid ever again. So that's what keeps me on the Disability Commission, is to protect people with disabilities who do not have that are not able to advocate for themselves on a city level. That's why I specifically push for the Friends with Disability Commission. So we have youth outreach, so we can have we can have their opinion in making sure that doesn't happen again. And I originally got into the office in 2019 on my way out of the elections office because, one, they recruited me. Beth Brassel, who was one of the people who worked at the library before she passed. She specifically tracked me down when I was working at the elections office because of ETA and recruited me on the spot. And I transitioned more towards taking on more responsibilities from to the Disability Commission, because one, it helped protect the city's interest when it came, not the city's interest, but like the people's interest when it came to advocating for the city. And it got me out of the elections office after I kind of blew up the election system and they painted a target on my back.
Good trouble.
Good trouble.
Thanks, Sebastian.
No problem.
Any other questions? Not seeing any other hands. Sebastian, is there anything else that you want us to know or anything that we could help with in particular?
Have people come to the meetings if you and reach out to me. We have 40 grand in the bank right now to help with projects.
That's awesome.
So, and we want to spend that money on projects.
Could you, is there like a mailing list for the meetings for the Disability Commission? Because I can start including those in the newsletter if you want.
We don't have a mailing list because it basically consists of the people get emailed are the people who are in the commission, and then the best way to do that would probably to be go grab the agenda on the agenda in the minutes off the city council websites and throw them into wherever.
Okay.
But yeah.
Chris posted in the chat, I have similar experiences with one of my children in the early 2000s being bounced from school to school because of her cognitive disabilities. It was basically up to the parents to fight to advocate for their children who didn't quite fit the norm. This was Massachusetts, not Lowell, but one of the suburbs. So thank you, Sebastian, for your work.
No problem, Chris. I appreciate it.
All right. Last chance. Any questions for Sebastian? Well, thank you so much for speaking today. I know it was short notice, and we really appreciate it.
No problem at all.
Yeah, and I'm sure everyone will be seeing more of you in the future in the coordinating committee. So let me get back to sharing my screen. Okay. Our next meeting, this window would disappear so I could actually see it. There we go. All right. Is our May meeting. It's on Sunday, May 24th, same time, 5:30 to 7. It'll be hybrid, hopefully, unless something else comes up, at UCC Dracut, which is at 10 Arlington Street in Dracut, and it will also be on Zoom. We haven't decided on our featured speaker yet, so if you have anyone that you think would be good to speak, please reach out to anyone on the coordinating committee. We greatly appreciate it. You can always join us online. We have a Facebook page where you can see public events, photos, and more, but not discussions. And we also have a Facebook group where you can see all of the things and participate in discussion and access all our events and yada, yada. We have a website, solidaritylowell.com. We are on Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and Threads. Probably not Twitter for very much longer because I hate Elon. And you can also watch meeting recordings on YouTube at Solidarity Lowell and hopefully on LTC soon. And we thank you very much for attending. Please spread the word about us to your friends and family. We'd love to see more of you. And we'll see you next time, probably at the May Day event, if not before. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you. Bye.
Good night.